Good morning, student. Welcome for today's science class. In 7th, we are on the chapter Reproduction in Plants. And today's is part 3. We are doing 12th chapter and it is the third topic we are going to cover today. Till now we have covered asexual mode of nutrition. And today we are taking sexual reproduction system in plants. As we all know, and I have discussed with you, that flower is the reproductive part of a plant. So we are going to discuss today about the part of the flowers, what they are having. You can see the part one by one on my screen. So parts of the flower, reproductive organ of a flower are two, stamen and pistil. Learn the spelling please. S-T-A-M-E-N stamen and pistil, P-I-S-T-I-L, pistil. So learn the spelling with them only. Stamen, what is stamen? Stamen is the male reproductive part. What is stamen? Stamen is the male reproductive part of a plant. It is the organ, we can say. It has two parts, beta. Anther and filament. A-N-T-H-E-R, anther, and filament, F-I-L-A-M-E-N-T, filament. Anther part, the swollen and tip of stamen. Swollen and tip of stamen is called anther, and the stalk of stamen is called filament. Anther contains pollen grains, and these pollen grains contains the male gametes. So these are the things. I'll cover it again with this figure. See in this figure, beta, this is the stamen, the male reproductive part, and see the filament. You can see the stamen. Filament is this long stick, and total all the part of this male part is called stamen. In that the stick is filament, and this part is called anther, and pollen's grain you can see inside it. A cross section of an anther showing pollen grains inside it. You can see this very nicely, it is given. Now it is clear from the figure that whole male part contain two partitions, filament and anther. Below part, that is stem like structure, is filament, and the above part is called anther, and anther contains pollen grains. Okay, so this is the male part, beta. I think it is clear. All these points are clear now. Next we are going to take pistil. What is pistil? Pistil is the female reproductive part, beta. Pistil is the female reproductive part. Pistil spelling P-I-S-T-I-L, pistil. So it is having stigma in it. You can see in the figure stigma in it. Then it is having style, this thin part, and then it is having ovary, a swollen like part in it. And what does ovary contains? Ovules and ovary. You can see ovary contains small little ovules in it. So I'll read the topic now. The top sticky part of a pistil called stigma. You can see the top sticky part, stigma over here. This is stigma. The middle part of the pistil is style. You can see style, the very thin part is called style. And it is the tube which connects stigma to ovary. And ovary contains ovules, I have told you, and ovules produce female gametes. It contains female gametes in it. And each ovule contains only one female gamete called eggs. It contains eggs. Okay, this we have discussed. Male part we have discussed now. Female part also we have discussed. Now we are going on the unisexual and bisexual flowers. There are two types of flowers, beta. Bisexual flowers and unisexual flowers. The flower which contain only one organ. The flower which contain only the one organ for reproduction. Either the pistil of the stamen are called unisexual flowers. Means the flower is containing one male part or the flower is containing the female part. That is unisexual. Flower contain only one male part या फिर female part. So papaya is a very good example of it. Now I am discussing bisexual flowers. The flowers which contain both reproductive pistil as well as stamen are called unisexual flowers. So what are the examples which contain single sexual and examples contain bisexual? So this is bisexual, okay, and rose, mustard, lily, china rose, gulmohar. These are the example of bisexual bisexual flowers. So you have to learn the name. Unisexual में papaya is a very good example, and bisexual rose is a very example. Means it contains both the reproductive system, female also and male also. Okay. Now mechanism of sexual reproduction. Pollination. The transfer of pollen grains from the anther to the stigma of a flower is called pollination. The transfer of pollen grains from the anther to the stigma of a flower is called pollination. There are two types of pollinations, self-pollination and cross-pollination. We will discuss them one by one, beta. Self-pollination. What is self-pollination? When the pollen grains from the anther of the flower are transferred to the stigma of the same flower or another flower on the same plant is called self-pollination. You can see from the diagram. It is on your screen. Anther, you can see the anther part. It is going to the stigma. Yes, it is going, and then after the stigma, it will goes from this tube inside the ovary. Inside the ovary, you can see this. So, when the pollen grains from the anther of the flower are transferred to the stigma of the same flower or another flower on the same plant is called self-pollination. Next is cross-pollination. When the pollen grains from the anther of the flower of one plant are transferred to the stigma of the flower of a flower of another plant of the same kind is called cross-pollination. I'll repeat again. When the pollen grains, जब pollen grains from the anther of the flower से निकले हैं किसके, one plant के, and transfer to the stigma of a flower or another plant to the same kind, it is called cross-pollination. Means you can see this कि pollen grains were transferring from one plant to the another plant. Okay, anther is transferring from one plant to the another plant or to the same plant. It's called cross-pollination. It can be done by the insect, birds, wind, water or other animals. It can possible, beta, from the any agents. It can be possible. So we will take them one by one. Pollination by insects. How the pollination take place is by insect. The insects it will come under bees, butterflies, moths. They all feed on the nectar of the flower. They all are feeding on the nectar of the flower. And insects attracted. Of course, these insects means butterflies were attracted due to the color, fragrance, odor from the flower. So they come on the flower for sucking the nectar. And what will happen? The anther stick to their bodies. And when they sit on the another flower, they feed on that. To feed on the nectar, it will fall down and the cross-pollination take places. You can see in the diagram, beta. Stigma is visible over here. This bee is touching another anther. How it is? Pollens carried by the bee from bee touching the stigma. Yahan se it is going here and here it is going here. Means they are transferring the things. It can be done by the insects very easily as when they are sitting on that flowers due to the nectar. Okay. Pollination by wind. When pollen grains matured, the anther breaks up and open to release them, and the blowing wind carries matured pollen grains from one flower to the another flower. Okay, they are taking pollen grains are carried by the wind from the one plant to the another plant. You can see grass flowers, and they are coming taking from one to another. It can be the example grass, wheat, sugarcane, rice, maize, corn. Wind pollinated flowers are found in these plants. You can learn the examples. These flowers produce a large amount of pollen grains which are light and non-sticky. They are non-sticky and they can be transferred by the wind from one place to another. Pollination by water. Pollination in aquatic plant is also done. How it is done? In the aquatic plant, it is done by the water, because wind is not possible over there. Insects are very hardly, bees were very hardly available over there. So what is happening? Due to the water, they are transferred from one plant to the another. The water currents carry matured pollen grains from one flower to the another. Example is Hydrilla Valinaria. So you can see them very easily, the transferring of pollen grains from one to another plant through the water currents. When the high tides occurs, they will across from one plant to another. Okay. Now this all we have studied with the cross pollination. Now we are going to study artificial pollination. It is a technique which is widely used, yes, for the improving the quality and quantity of the crops. So artificially, when the pollination was done by the humans, it is performed to produce a various new variety of crops having desired characteristics, to getting high yield, better quality of flower and seeds, and disease resistance, high nutrition values, means to getting all the qualities, good qualities beta, means disease free hona chahiye, better quality we are getting, high yield we are getting. So everything what we are getting from that can be done with the artificial pollination. So for this, following steps are included. First is selection. What we are doing, first of all, we are selecting. What we are selecting? The plants, male and female, with desired characteristics are selected. Means the plant which are having better qualities, first we select them. Okay, of the same species, of course. Then removal of stamen. Then we are removing the stamen. Immaculation is the process when we are removing the stamen from it. Now, stamens of a bisexual flowers are removed in the bud containing, and this flower with pistil is covered with a paper of polybag and prevent natural cross pollination. So it can be done by the removal of stamen. Next was pollination. We have studied cross pollination. When the stamen of the flower matures, pollen grain from the stamen of the another selected plant are taken and dusted on the stigma. When once it was matured, it is done in the bisexual or unisexual. We can take it, the stamen, and just sprinkle it or dust it on the stigma, and then it will go to ovary, and in this way the pollination can take place. These cross-pollinated flowers are again covered in muscaline paper or polythene bags till fruits and seeds are produced. So cross-pollination and all it will be covered, and all the safeties has to be put it over there. Till then the seeds are not produced. Fifth point, the seeds produced after artificial pollination give rise to the new variety, which is generally better than the parent's crop. Of course, when we are taking care of everything, we are taking a very good breed. We are giving the right maturity time and right sprinkling of the pollination, and we are saving them from all the impurities. Definitely, it will be better than the parent crop. So what we are getting? A better quality, high yield, and the disease resistant crop. In this way, the artificial pollination is done. We have covered all the topic of pollinations. Even we have covered the flower topic in its part, which are female and male parts, especially we are studying because the topic is reproduction. So read them better carefully. Try to understand the things I have shown you with the diagrams, and take the queries still if you are having from this topic. Till then, read it nicely 2 times, 3 times. Till then, you didn't get it. Till then, thank you. Have a nice day.